Hey, yo, what's up? Here's a review for the episode 8 of She-Hulk Attorney at Law. Now, I have spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen episode 8, please watch the episode before you watch my review. But, man, let's go deep and dive into this review, man. If you have been waiting on Daredevil to show up in a She-Hulk episode, episode 8 is for you, and I think it came at the perfect time. What a great penultimate episode this was, and just really well done in how they used it, how they kind of brought everything together, and I really enjoyed this episode. Now, this episode called Ribbit and Rip It, and it's basically She-Hulk representing a client named what's his name, Eugene Palento. He's basically a child of a bigger client that she has, like this billionaire or millionaire client that has a child who, not a child anymore, it's a grown-ass man, but has a dude who basically wants to become a superhero, goes out there, gets a suit from the Luke Jacobs type dude, and goes out there and basically, what is that dude's name? Luke Jacobson. Yeah, he goes out there, gets a suit, and basically does everything wrong while he tries to get these guys who are still in the TV. It just messes it up as best as he can. And I gotta say, man, I really enjoyed how they used the Leapfrog character at this beginning, especially with the action scene that they had with him, where he's burning his legs up or he's doing the whole jumping thing like that. Everything is really funny. But this all leads to She-Hulk having to take Luke Jacobson, which is the guy who built creates all of She-Hulk's costumes and her, outfits, lawyer outfits, and all the, everything else that she has, because she needs something that could turn her into She-Hulk. He takes her. She goes to him, tells him, like, yo, I gotta have my client sue you. Either that or we can try to deal with it another way. He doesn't take it well, so he gets Matt Murdock in to defend him. The court case goes horribly for Leapfrog after he basically yells out that he used the wrong type of fuel, even though the instructions tell him a certain type of fuel to use, and it ends up burning him up. She loses the case, and I think the great part starts really after this, is where you start to get a connection between She-Hulk, or Jennifer Walters, and Matt Murdock, and just them talking. You can see that there's chemistry going on. He buys her a drink, and then she has to leave because he has to leave because something else is going on. She has to leave because there's other things going on in her life as well, especially with another client that's coming to basically want to get her and handle some business for him, which is Todd, which you've seen a couple episodes ago. But the part that really hypes up is where you find out the reason why Matt Murdock is leaving is because he has to go save Luke Jacob from Leapfrog, who has him stuck in a trunk after he kidnaps him. This episode really went very fun places, especially when you take in that the action scenes that they had here. The rooftop action scene was really fun. That's where you got to see a little bit of She-Hulk versus Matt Murdock, even her pick up a car and throw it at his ass. That was really fun. She finds out his identity and why he's doing what he's doing, and she actually goes to help him get Leapfrog and save Luke Jacobson from Leapfrog and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed that scene as well. There's a fun rooftop scene with them both where, She-Hulk kind of gets a little bit of, kind of shy when she's around Matt and everything. And, they can't agree on how to enter the building and what to do and stuff like that. I love the jokes that they were giving out there, even with him saying that he can hear there's 30 people in there and, it's going to take him 30 minutes to get them all and stuff like that. All that was very fun, and I enjoyed how they used the characters and how they did all that. And then it leads up to, one of Daredevil staples, which is a hallway fight scene, and that was really well done. It really brought me back to the the few years ago with the Netflix Daredevil show and how they did their hallway fight scene. This was a really good one in its own right. So yeah, man, I enjoyed everything after that. I enjoyed, all of how they dealt with the character. You got Matt Murdock and Jennifer Walters hooking up at the end. That was really funny. And then him doing a walk of shame in his little costume with his boots on his shoulder. That was hilarious as well. This episode, how they use Matt Murdock, how they use She-Hulk, how they use the trial itself, and just two lawyers who find a connection with one another, but also having to deal with things that they're dealing with, was really well done. Yes, not all the jokes hit. There were some things in this episode, especially with the CG towards the beginning, where, it's a hit and miss as it is, but I think that they did a really good job. And I love Matt Murdock's new suit. I think that was very well, and it fit this show, which I think that this is something that, when it comes to something that's a sitcom, when it comes to something that's different, you want it to fit the show that it's in, and they did a good job with that. the show didn't end with Daredevil. They even decided to continue on where you had She-Hulk, She-Hulk, but Jennifer Walters realized that she has that little award show today, and so she goes there dressed as She-Hulk. Even before that, you have her friend Nikki who comes in and says, "Yo, we have to get ready for it." There's some references in this episode to Red Hulk. There's a little bit of Wolverine references where she has the makeup like Wolverine crawls in her hand and stuff like that. So, you know, they're playing around with all the ideas in this show and everything. That's really, really fun. But also, man, once you get to the award show, they play around with other things there and how they're using the characters and stuff like that. And it all ends with She-Hulk having to basically win an award with other lawyers when she finds out that it's just not her that's winning an award. Sorry, getting my words mixed up, but winning an award. But it continues from that point on to where you find out that there's a bunch of dudes who was taking her blood and tracking her phone and been doing all the stuff since this whole episode, and they're doing it all to kind of blackmail her into showing that, you know, everything that's been going on throughout these several episodes with her lifestyle, the sex that she's been having, all that stuff, and they show it all on the screen in front of everybody to see. She freaks out about it, and then she really rage out and go Hulk. And that was really dope because this is something that kind of Bruce Banner was warning her about, you know, controlling your anger, not letting things get to you and stuff like that. And the things that he was training her to do, it finally comes all out here where she rages out in front of the world to see, and got a guy held up with, you know, these guys with the guns towards her and everything. Just really, really enjoyed this episode and everywhere they went with it, and just how they used the characters here. Yes, like I said, every joke wasn't funny. There were problems with the CG here and there. For me, though, this was the best CG that we've seen in She-Hulk altogether. You could tell that they were saving their money for these last couple episodes, and damn well, they did a great job here. So yeah, man, for me, this episode is a 4.5 out of 5 stars. When I say I enjoyed this episode, I enjoyed it a lot, and it's probably one of my more favorites of the Marvel TV show episode. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Hopefully next episode is really, really great to end us off and say this was a pretty damn good season for She-Hulk, and you know, I would enjoy seeing more. So yeah, that's my review for She-Hulk episode 8. I'm out of here. Peace.